Hey guys, how you doing? This is How. Forgot what I was gonna say next. Hey guys, how you doing? This is How, and this is my first video. And in this channel, I'm just gonna be sharing my personal experiences with doing business in the Philippines for the past 5 years. And I wanna share some things that I wish you can learn from, and I hope I can also learn from all the other entrepreneurs and business owners out there. So in this video, I'm gonna share to you 4 things that I wish I knew before starting a business. So I started around 2015, that was 5 years ago, right after college. I actually didn't want to take the board exam right away, and my parents weren't very happy about that. So they said, what are you gonna do for the next year of your life? And I felt very intimidated and challenged. So that's when I started figuring out what's the first official business I wanted to do. And we opened the first laser tag in Cebu City, actually. That was the first recreational center here of laser tag. I tried it once in Manila before, and I just wished we had it here. So yeah, we brought that here 5 years ago. It was like the first in Cebu, and everyone really liked it, so I like that feeling. 2016, I also came across another first that's not actually in Cebu yet, which was like a drug rehab facility. It was a drug rehabilitation facility, although there's quite some already here, but not of good quality actually. So if you look at other countries, they have very good rehabilitation facilities for any sort of addiction. So I wanted to bring that in the Philippines as well, so that we can have that care, especially in Cebu. So that was my second business. So I sold that business, and I can save that for another story because that was so challenging. Fulfilling, but very challenging as well. The third one was back to recreation, similar to laser tag, but it was more archery tag for all the archers out there. So that was the third one. And after that, we actually wanted to go into events. And from that events, we sort of pivoted into like a social media marketing agency. Reason being is because out of the 3 businesses that I did in the past, some were successful and some were not. A lot of it really relied on marketing. And I realized like poor marketing is really gonna be such a big factor if your business lives or dies. We're here now with Boombox Media. We're doing social media marketing and advertising for small and big businesses so far within Cebu and Manila. Some other foreign brands as well, but not as much as the locals that we really want to help, especially those business owners who don't know yet or don't have the full capacity to shift their business to full e-commerce. So if I could give a message to How Junior, my 5 years ago How, one is get yourself a trusted bookkeeper. Oftentimes when you open a business, it's really something you don't think of, but it's one of the most like challenging things. If you don't do it properly, like your taxes and your books, you have to remember that with or even if you make or don't make money, you need to file your taxes. And if you miss that, there's gonna be penalty after penalty after penalty. And at the end of 2 years, it's gonna cost you so much money, because that's what happened to me with one of my business that I didn't file it properly. So yeah, that's the first one. So second would be, it sounds very cliche and like a lot of people hear it all the time, but customer service is key. When you open a business, it's so easy to get the support when you're new, but the challenge is in the retention and the consistency. So your customers, if you take care of them properly, they become loyal ones, and then retention becomes easy, and like sales just like automatically increase. But again, like it's really difficult, so you have to pay attention to that, making sure that your customers are actually happy. Especially in a service industry, like retention is so important. Or even if the clients don't actually stay with you and pay you all the time, like having given them a really good experience whilst they were working with you is such a big factor, because then it allows for more opportunities, like when they refer you to their friends or they actually give like a good word for you. It's like they're your living testimonials, you know? So it's very, very important to make sure that once you say something, you do it. And once you promise something, you actually not only deliver, but over-deliver if you can. That's one way to also like make sure that your customers are happy, and then retention is high. The third one would be opening a business in the Philippines. Like in terms of government documents, it's actually easier than closing it. I don't know why, man. They make it so easy to open a business, like get your DTI, get your permits and everything. But once you have that, and let's just say for whatever reason you decide to close your business, it's so hard to close it, which which brings me back to my first point, like make sure you have a trusted bookkeeper, because that's when they start digging up all your files and everything. And if you're missing any sort of like paper, then that's gonna be a big problem for you, because it takes time, it takes money, and you don't want to deal with that stress anymore after like closing or like losing the business or deciding to close it. So lastly, yes, remember that business is fun, but at the same time, it's also really challenging. When you open something, as much as it starts as a passion, like eventually it becomes a responsibility. Like when you service someone or when you sell a product, it becomes a responsibility to your customers. When you have people working for you and working with you, it's also a responsibility to them. So don't forget that like opening a business has its challenges as well. Just remember that opening a business also has its challenges, but just make sure to have fun while doing it. So to anyone watching this who also wants to start their own business, those are the 4 things that I hope you remember and you learn from and you apply, and it just might make your life easier when you have your business already. Okay, so that's the end of my first video, you guys. Yay, awesome. Yeah, I pay them to do this, basically, cheer for me. Yeah, so if you're interested in doing business in the Philippines, if you want to learn more, just like and subscribe. Videos is here, or here.
Lower. Not lower on your right.
Oh, damn, here. Okay. Yeah, just follow and subscribe. Links over here. I'll see you guys in the next video.